Hi, so my name is Alexandra Ceza, and I'm a life coach and hypnotherapist. And catch me on this week's episode of the Jessie T Show. Well, with me looking at my kind of patterns or blocks and traumatic kind of experiences, with her, how she did it, so I work in a different way completely. But how she did it, it was really through talk, kind of like NLP stuff.
Okay.
And
Neuro linguistic programming.
yes.
Okay.
And she made me, it's hard to explain, right? Because this was also like 2 years ago. And I just remember writing a whole bunch of beliefs down, especially in the category of like my relationships. And I was able to see kind of what was coming out on paper, even though I didn't, it was like, so for example, like we'll talk, right? Because that was like one of my specific things. I'm like, okay, I keep experiencing bad relationship after bad relationship. What is going on here, right?
Yep.
So one of the beliefs that I remember to this day that I didn't think I really believed, but it was there in my subconscious mind, that men are pigs, right? Men are assholes. And I know how this sounds, but it really was all in my subconscious mind. But that also came from the relationship that I had with my father. Okay. That's kind of how I viewed him.
So the relationship that he role modeled for you ingrained in you some of these beliefs that you carried into the world, and how it affected you and how you showed up in relationships because of it.
Exactly. And I was never aware of that, right? Because what our conscious mind does, and I see this in my own practice, right? When I'm coaching with people, they have a subconscious belief, but the conscious mind comes in and it doubts it. It says, no, I don't believe this. And it's like, well, it wouldn't come out if you didn't believe it, right? And sometimes people will get into this argument with their conscious mind and their subconscious mind. They're like, no, I don't actually believe this. No, you do, because it is in there. And oftentimes it's also adopted by the collective, like society, right? Because it's really common to also hear like men are pigs along our society, right? Or women are gold diggers or whatever, right? That's a very common belief. And even if you don't consciously think you believe it, it could be there subconsciously.
For sure. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, it's hard. I mean, I'm a parent to two young boys, 6 and 4, and my whole goal is just to not fuck them up enough. Like I don't want to screw their life up. So there's this comedian talks about where you screw your kids up too much, they become like killers, or if you just want to find the right amount of fucking them up to where they're interesting and funny.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. But the ironic thing about that is I sometimes have clients who will come to me and they're like, listen, I'm experiencing this block or this pattern or something in their life, right? And that could literally be anything: bad relationships, bad career, bad finances, bad self-esteem, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
And they'll tell me, they're like, listen, but I don't think I had any trauma. Like, I love my parents. My parents were amazing. Like, I don't have any bad experiences, right? And sometimes trauma isn't how it sounds like, right? Like, sometimes you think about these really bad experiences, but sometimes it looks like that person will go back to a scene where maybe their mother was washing dishes, right? And they were 4 years old and they wanted to play, or they wanted to show their mother something that they made at school. But at that time, their mother, when she was washing the dishes, she was just preoccupied. She wasn't really paying attention. And it was not that she was being a bad mother. She just was like, we get busy, right? We get stuck in our own heads. But that 4-year-old is not able to comprehend what's going on, right? That 4-year-old's just like, well, I want to show my mother this and she's not paying attention to me. And I've been, trying to get her attention for the past 30 minutes, still nothing. So maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe she doesn't love me. Maybe this, maybe that. And that is actually the starting of the root cause of whatever issue you may have.